Some dishes are totally synonymous with a specific region. Today's recipe, Mussel Pilaf, is definitely one of them. The first thing we want to do is steam the mussels in a little bit of white wine. We want to get the mussels in the hot wine. I'm going to cover that and let them steam for a few minutes until they open up. One of the classic ingredients in this classic dish are pine nuts, and we're going to toast them a little bit. The reason we do that is to get all of their beautiful essential oils out. And while my pine nuts are toasting here, I'm going to get the onion ready. It calls for an old technique in Greek cooking, which is to grate the onion. It's very easy to do along the coarse side of a hand grater. And what you get when you grate an onion is a much softer texture, but you also get the onion juice. And when that cooks, it actually sweetens up a little bit. It kind of caramelizes. The pine nuts, the color's great. I'm getting a little bit of that nutty aroma. And our mussels are also done. And what we want to do here, let me just show you. We only want to use the mussels where the shells have opened. Shells that haven't opened, we're going to discard those mussels. I'm getting a whiff of the sea in this pot. We want all this good mussel juice because this is what's going to flavor the rice. But we have to strain it. So I've lined a colander with some cheesecloth. And the cheesecloth will catch any grit that's in the pan. I'm going to rinse out my pan. Now we're ready to start the pilaf. A little bit of extra virgin Greek olive oil. And there's nice, soft, grated onion with whatever onion juice is on this plate. Scallion. Celery. We're just sauteing the onion, the scallion, and the celery to soften them up over pretty high heat. The rice goes in next. I like to toast the rice a little bit to coat it in the olive oil. I'm going to add the garlic to that. I just want to measure out the mussel juice. We've got about 2 cups. And bloom a little bit of the saffron. Krokos, Kozanis. It's actually cultivated not that far from Thessaloniki. And we want a total of about 3 cups of liquid for the rice. So I'm just going to add a little water to this. A little bit of salt and some black pepper. I have freshly squeezed lemon juice right here. And I'm just going to let that cook over low heat and get to the cleaning of the mussels. I'm going to leave some of them in the shell because it looks really pretty. At the end, we're going to mix all of this into the rice. But we want to get most of the mussel meat out. I've got most of the mussels cleaned, and I left a few in the shell. I'm going to get the herbs ready, and I've got some fresh dill. It's a very, very Greek herb, and it oftentimes goes into rice dishes. And a little bit of parsley. Parsley is an herb that's used a lot in the cooking of northern Greece, especially the areas around Thessaloniki. Let's see what's going on in this pot. Looking good and smelling even better. I'm going to get my raisins in here. They have a little bit of time to soften up. So this is almost done. And right now, just a few minutes before all this liquid is absorbed, I'm going to add the pine nuts and the cleaned mussels. This is one of the defining dishes of Thessaloniki cooking. It's probably a dish that came with the Greeks who emigrated to the city in 1922. They brought with them a much more urban cooking and access and knowledge to all of the spices that were part of their own daily cooking lives. I can get my herbs in next. The dill and the parsley. Stir that up. This looks really, really beautiful. The whole mussels are going in next. And here we have mussel pilaf in English, and not a word that's too hard to say in Greek, mido pilafo. And it's one of the classic dishes of Thessaloniki, and really one of the great dishes of Greek cuisine. Just gonna get some of this served. It smells really good. I wanna get a couple of whole mussels in here too. Time to taste this Thessaloniki classic. East meets west in the flavors in this dish. The rice is the backdrop to all of these beautiful, complex flavors that are playing off each other in this plate. The saffron's really strong, but so is the sweetness of the raisins, that beautiful nuttiness from the pine nuts, and that almost iodine-y, that delicious sea flavor from the mussels. It's all coming through loud and clear, and this calls for one of the great Greek white grape varietals called assyrtiko. This particular assyrtiko is produced in Argos. It's minerally, it's got a beautiful citrus undertone, but I'm also getting apple on the palate, and it goes beautifully with this rich mussel dish. All these wonderful flavors working together. This is a really nice, balanced combination. Isiyan.